mom came into the room and she's like, look at my phone. And then I couldn't see it, so I had to look at mine. I'm like, oh.
I can't bet against Tom Brady. I have the Bucks winning 31-27 and Tom Brady going to his 10th championship.
Yeah, and I really think the Clippers' chance to win the championship was last year. And they were up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets.
Chris Paul is one of the most underrated players of all time. He's been the best player wherever he goes, and that includes with the Rockets.
You said you can't bet against Tom Brady, and as a Cowboys fan and what I just did last weekend, I am not going to bet against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. I mean, that's all I can really say. There's two of the top 5 players in the league, and they are very, very good.
Hello, I'm Taylor Hearn, and you listen to The Outsiders' Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. The gear for the playoffs has started, and our preparation, basically. And this is now become staple because a long time ago in our history, I said a team was out. Then they went on a historic winning streak. And that team's on this list again. So stay tuned to see what I say about them. Have I learned my lesson? And the man that remembers this lesson, or quote-unquote lesson, because we'll see if I change it, Austin.
Yeah, so Kevin, a 17-game win streak happened immediately after this video that we had in 2021. Now, that's been a long time. It's obviously been a while. That was our very first in-out maybe. And now this is our latest one. So I'll let you start off. Which side would you like to start off? Do you want to leave the NL because we have more history there and just go AL first?
Yes, and I just let's get it out of the way. Let's get the people what they want. And yeah, I'll just go first, if that works.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll save the team for last. So Philly. So there are 11 teams. This is within 10. So the Pirates are exactly 10, but that does not count. That did not fit. It's less than 10. No underline in the less than for those math people. So I got Philly. I have them as in. I have LA Dodgers in. Brewers in. Padres in. Diamondbacks, maybe. Mets out. Braves in. Cubs, maybe. Giants out, Reds out, and now the Cardinals. They're less than 17 games going, so it's around 18. They will be lucky to not get to 17 or even break the 2 barrier mark. That's my prediction, and they will go out, so they will not make it.
Okay, the rest of your teams?
So the teams after the Cardinals are Giants and Reds, and I have them as out as well. So I have 5 ins, and then I have 2 maybes.
Who are your maybes?
Diamondbacks and Cubs. Mets I have as out, which I know they are in a playoff spot right now, but I put the Braves in. And if you look at the Mets schedule, they have some tough matchup. So they play the Phillies the next 3 days. And then they have sort of an easy team that's out of it, the Nationals, but they're still a very good team. Then the Mets play the Phillies again. Then they play the Braves, which would be a critical matchup. And then they end that with the Brewers as well. So it's a really tough schedule, and I don't think they can get through it. While the Braves have a little bit of an easier schedule, and they do face the Mets. So that's going to be a key 3-game series at the end of September, from September 24th to September 26th.
Yeah, there is a little bit there. I don't know necessarily how much the Brewers were care about the last one of the year, the last little series there. It'll probably be they're just trying to get ready for the playoffs. Also, I will say that the Braves definitely have a really tough schedule because they do play the Dodgers and the Mets, and then they play KC, and KC will still be fighting for playoff positioning. They also play the Reds, who are sort of there, and then Miami, who's completely out. So I think the Braves still have a tough schedule moving forward. I have the Phillies as in, the Dodgers as in, the Brewers as in, the Padres as in, the Diamondbacks as maybe, and the Mets as in.
Ooh.
So those are the 6 teams that are currently in the playoffs. The Mets are on a very, very good streak right now. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They just won a very hard-fought game against Toronto. And I think they are the team that I'm pretty confident about how they're pitching, how they're hitting. Lindor is an MVP candidate. I'm not all that worried. Diamondbacks, they still are not 100% health-wise. They have some pitching issues. I mean, we've talked about what's wrong with Jordan Montgomery and all this other stuff. So they still have guys that I'm not that confident in. And then for my teams that are currently out of the playoffs, I have the Braves as maybe, the Cubs as out, the Cardinals as maybe, the Giants is out, and the Reds is out. So why the am I missing one?
No, you got it.
Okay.
You got Giants and Reds both out.
Yeah. So the reason why I have the Cardinals is maybe, one is to go against what Kevin said, just so I can leave the Cardinals to his demise. But also the Cardinals play a relatively easy schedule. They play Cincinnati twice, and these are very, very, very important games. They need to win those. Then they play Toronto, who's in a very tough spot. Then they play Pittsburgh, and then they play Cleveland, and then they play Colorado and the Giants may be playing for nothing at the end of the year. So their schedule, I do think, is easy enough for them to go on the win streak that we saw a couple years ago.
Yeah, they do have an easy schedule, but they're a bad team. My personal opinion. There is bias. I do like how also we chose out of the rivalry of Cubs and Cardinals. One we have is maybe. Another has the other team out. Why are the Cubs an out?
The Cubs are an out because I don't necessarily know if they're going to be able to hit well enough down the stretch. Their schedule is not extremely difficult, but they do play. They've won their last 2 games against the Dodgers, but they play the Dodgers again tonight. Then they have an easier schedule going forward, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to take advantage of them. Colorado hits well in Colorado. We'll have to see whether or not the bats for the Cubs come to play. And the Cubs have really struggled hitting outside of a couple games. They either get a lot of runs or they get no runs. For example, they beat Washington a week and a half ago, 14-1, and then score 3, and then score 0, and then score 12, and then score 0-0-2, and then 10. So it's whether or not they're going to come to play during that game. They're very hit or miss. I don't know necessarily if they're also going to stay healthy enough. They've had some injuries. Their closer had a heart scare, apparently. I don't really know what that means, but he had he appeared to have like some issues with his chest, and so but he got the save eventually. But if they're going to lose a closer, that would be very disadvantageous. Porter Hodge, who's been their closer for the past couple of weeks, has a 1.66 ERA. So if he's out for any extended period of time, that would hurt. So we'll see. But I wanted to have as many outs as possible, and I put the Cubs as such.
Got it. Yeah, I wanted some outs in the NL as well. And there's some analysis. So you're not just trying to appease the Cardinals fan. You're not trying to get on the good side by saying their rival is out.
Not necessarily. No, I do think you're trying to get on the Cardinals' bad side.
Yeah, how bad can I get on the bad side? I'm already on the bad side, so I might as well just get used to it. I'm the Stephen A. Smith of Cardinals, except I have watched one of their games, so where they actually won. So maybe on good luck for them, but we'll see what happens, and this could be clipped up. But let's go to the AL. I'll let you go first, and I'll take some notes.
Okay, so I have the Yankees, Guardians, Astros, Orioles, Royals, all as in. I don't think there's much of a question with any of those teams. The team that I am worried about is the Twins. The Twins are 4-6 in their last 10. They have struggled to take advantage of teams that they need to take advantage of. So I have them as maybe. I have the Tigers as maybe. I have the Red Sox as maybe. I have the Mariners as maybe. And all the rest of the teams, Rays, Rangers, and Blue Jays, I have as out. There's some easier schedules in there, like the Mariners have a relatively easy schedule. The Tigers kind of have some easy guys in there as well. The Red Sox could always get hot. They have the bats to do so. Tyler O'Neill was hitting amazingly recently. Same thing with Devers. So they could get it done. And then, like I said, the Twins have kind of been lackluster recently, and I could definitely see them faltering down the stretch.
Yeah, I have the Twins as well as a maybe. It's tough for them. The rest, I have 5 spots for them. And then I'm looking at my list. So the Yankees I have as in, Orioles I have as in, Astros in, Guardians and Royals both in. So I think we're all set on our ins, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're set on that. That leaves 1 spot, which Twins I have as maybe as well. I don't really know. Sure, Tigers are maybe as well. I go Red Sox out. And I was pulling up their schedule. They have a tough schedule at the beginning because they face the Yankees, 4-game series. Then they're facing the Orioles. They have 1 more game today as we are recording. Then they face the Yankees. Then they face the Rays, Twins, and Blue Jays, and then the Rays again. So it's a little bit easier, but it's a little questionable for me. I'm curious about what they do. Then Mariners, I have as maybe. The Astros I have them as in. They will get a playoff spot, but the Mariners are only 4 games out of a wild card spot. And if you look at, they're still 4.5 games back from the division lead. But to me, it's when you look at the Astros compared to the other division leads, they are 6 to 7 games behind those teams. So I could see the Astros maybe failing a little bit and losing the division, but I still think they'll make the playoffs. Next, I have the Rays as out. I think they can be a little bit dangerous, but they just don't have enough to make that playoff push. Blue Jays I have as out as well, and then Rangers I have as maybe. You never know. There's a chance.
There's not.
There's a chance. There is a mathematical chance that they can.
There's a mathematical chance for the Angels still to make it, technically.
Yep. There's a chance. You
There's
never know.
There's not.
Just wanted to be known. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so we just disagree on Rangers and Red Sox, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, AL's pretty much set from most of the guys. It's that final spot. So it should be a fun way to end the season, and we'll keep you updated. We will have some laughs and loves about this and maybe some tears. So let us know your thoughts. I'll let Austin close this one out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Which teams do you have in, out, or maybe? And please catch you in our next video.